Okay, we're out here with Chad and True doing a little fishing, but True is telling me a story about the Henry Mountains, and I have interviewed a few other people about the Henry Mountains, but True has got a great story. With that, True, hit it.
Yeah, it was Scully back in the 90s. My good friend drew out on the buffalo permit, so we were up there doing our buffalo hunt, which is not an easy hunt. People think it's one of the toughest hunts you'll ever go on. But I had horses, my horse string, so the process was we'd go up on a higher bench with our spotting scope on the Henry Mountain Road and look out and basically position where we saw the buffalo, and then go after them. The problem was that, and still is, that land is full of washes and ravines. Very much a lot of. You never know. You can't just go a straight line. You're just going back and forth through washes and ravines. So we saw a pretty good bunch of buffalo and a good bull. So we tried to get to them, but we started having to go into ravining up, getting over the top, going back, having to get out of the canyon. A lot of times it boxed up. So by the time we got to where we thought the buffalo was, it was afternoon, and we were hot and sweaty, and the horses were tired. But we came and thought we'd maybe do a shortcut back up to the top, the foothills of the big main Henry Mountain peak there. And we came upon this. Well, I saw immediately in this little swale, like a little canyon headwater. There was a Spanish workings, looked to me Spanish, definitely had an Arrastra, and looked like a smeltering place there. And what was amazing, there was a large pile of rock, and I thought it was a different colored rock than anywhere around. And I thought, what is that? And I looked, and there were biggest was about the size of a basketball, up to the size of a softball. You look at them closely, and you can see the gold without even having a magnifying glass. They were right there there's like stringers throughout the ore was.
So it wasn't even just little specks. You could see it. It was stringers.
You didn't need to have a magnifying glass. My friend says, "Well, is that pyrite? Is that fool's gold?" I says, "They wouldn't be, crushing pyrite." Whoever this was, and I told him the history of what I knew about the Spanish workings, especially the famed Lost Josephine, which is supposed to have been according to the records in Spain, that particular one, located supposedly on the Henry Mountain range, was the richest of all. Very rich. Produced a lot of high quality gold bullion. But it's lost. Nobody knows where that's at. It's supposed to be cursed, all of this stuff. But I had a pack horse along with our two saddle horses, and so when I showed him then he looked closely at the gold content, we loaded up the panniers as much as we could fit with that ore, and saddlebags too, and went back and not the way we'd come in, but the backside up to try and find a way closer to get out, kind of on the foothills. By the time we got back to the horse trailer, it was well after dark, and we didn't make it back to camp until almost midnight, and we were exhausted. It was very hard and circuitous route getting up and out of there. So my friend just said, "Well, I don't want to go hunt buffalo. Let's go back and get the rest of that gold. Let's take another horse and another panniers and get a whole nother load." So we brought 4 horses in, 2 pack horses and the 2 saddle horses, and I thought it'd be easier to retrace our trail back in. A lot of it was over hard rock, hard pan, some of it was softer dirt. We started up, and I figured about where we were. We went in and spent most of the day, but we couldn't find that place. We could not go back to where this was before GPS. This is in the 90s. We didn't have any way to find it again. And we tried that all that day, and then most of the next day couldn't find it. Could not find where that was. Even went back to the way we came in the other way, not the shortcut back in. Still couldn't find it. We couldn't locate it. So somewhere it was there. And there was also a pile of other rocks there and I looked at that, and there was an old tobacco can with an old claim notice on it that was dated. All I could really make out that was a date in the 1920s. So somebody had filed on that in the 20s, but never worked it, never came back. I couldn't see the name or anywhere to go find it, go file it, see who filed. I found the location of the mine or whatever it was that was being worked. But it was fun.
Well, just to see the Arrastra, and that would be cool to see that.
Yeah.
It was still in fairly good shape, or
they were the rocks in what they were doing was covered with lichens, so it had been there a long time and hadn't been touched.
Wow.
They were all lichen covered, but it's like, literally a proverbial needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
It really, it's there, and I'm pretty good at directions. I can we take an elk carcass, or I know where to get back to my, once we clean an elk and hang it, I know where I'm good to get back to it. But I never, and this is.
Well, the fact you had to come out at night, and things don't look the same at all as you do during the day.
Like I said, the best way to describe it is it's like going in a corn maze, because you're doing this and this in the direction here, you're going every which way in those paths. That maze of canyons. It's not easy country. Brush covered, thick. It's thick brush. These things remain hidden for a reason. Not many people want to go, mess with that.
It's just not like an easy stroll in the woods to find this stuff.
Let's put it this way: I wouldn't have been down in there without the buffalo hunt. Or in there searching for getting the buffalo. Or I would never have been in there doing it. Why would you?
Yeah.
Never found the location of the mine or whatever it was that was being worked. But it was fun.
Well, just to see the Arrastra, and that would be cool to see that.
Yeah.
It was still in fairly good shape, or
they were the rocks in what they were doing was covered with lichens, so it had been there a long time and hadn't been touched.
Wow.
That's.
So you think you could kind of pinpoint an approximate area on a map of where that was, approximately?
I can go to the place where we looked and saw the buffalo, and kind of where we went to go find him. So I can general area, but looking at it from an elevated position, when you get down on the level and see how these ravines go every which way. It's like a corn maze. It's a tough country. I would. With GPS, I would be willing to try it again. I don't have my horses anymore.
Yeah.
But this is back in the 90s when I was fit rider. It's a tough place to get in there, even with GPS. But it's more of a autumn, early spring thing, I would say. Maybe autumn when there's not so much chance of washes.
Yeah.
The washes and the storms can really be kind of dangerous in there. But I would do October, November type of thing before the snow flies.
Cool. We'll have to make a trip of that.
Yeah. And by the ore was kind of a gray color. It wasn't anything like it wasn't quartz or anything like that. It was almost like gray volcanic, light gray pumice type of stone. It was different than I've ever seen, but the gold was all through it. Just we did take it in. My friend, we crushed it up with hammers and crushed it up, and then we separated out the gold and made quite a bit of money. I think it was $500-600 for just one load. It wasn't. It was that rich.
Time gold was probably only around $300 or $400 an ounce.
I don't think it was quite that. Yeah, it was. But it was. We had 2 or 3 ounces. Yeah.
But that said, True, thank you. That's a wrap, and let's go catch some more fish.
Got some more fish at the Flaming Gorge.
That Flaming Gorge.